Yeah, I once read a biography online of a former major league player. Do you remember Delman Young,
I don't think so. M-
outfielder?
Maybe
Delman
actually.
Young.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think he was okay. I think he was. Let me look here. I think he was drafted number one overall. I'll look here. Hold on. I'm curious now. But anyway, I read a biography on him. Delman Young.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was number one overall.
What team did he play for?
We came up with the Rays, first
Mhm.
round or first overall in 2003, out of some high school in California. Played for the Twins, played for Detroit, Phillies, but really made his name with the Rays. Had a pretty good career with Tampa Bay. Anyway, I read a biography on him back when I was in high school because I wanted to be a good player like him, right? Even though I lacked a lot of athleticism that he had. One thing that stuck out though in his biography, he talked about how he always used to work on the things that he wasn't very good at, and he would work on them obsessively until he got good at those attributes, as good as, say, if he, I don't know, didn't have the foot speed, he'd work on that until it was as good as his bat to ball skills.
Mm.
A lot of time, and that's just part of the self assessment you were talking about. Athletes don't often, they overlook that and they don't do that self assessment. Let's be honest. Every baseball and softball player, all they want to do is hit. They don't want to work on those small little things that
Well,
gets them
shoot,
to
they
be
want to
able to
hit and they'll put the T right down the middle. I call
right.
out every baseball player that walks. I'm like, yeah, when are you getting that pitch? Like, are
Yeah,
you
that's
warming up
right.
or are you just floating your ego right now? Because people will look and be like, I work hard. I hit off the tee for an hour a day. And I look and I'm like, then all you've earned the right to do is say you've hit off a tee for an hour a day. I said, what are you actually trying to get better at? Like, let's
Mm,
put the ball 2 balls off. Like let's put it a ball off. Let's get really confident on that pitch so that when you get painted on the black, it's not such a big deal. Um, so I think that's really difficult to do in life. Like I think of myself even now as a coach, I go to work out. I don't want to do the exercises I don't like doing. I want to do exercise, getting myself to work out sometimes is hard and I don't want to deplete willpower even more doing stuff I don't like doing. But as an
of
athlete, it's
course.
very different, right? This is your job to be ready to be able to not let your team down when it comes time to perform.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think I really do think trying the next step is like, let's say you think an elite hitter is someone who works on their weaknesses and you look and you're like, that's definitely not something I'm doing. And then you can honestly then say, I might need help on this one. I might need to go seek out help from my parents, my coaches, whatever, whoever, a mentor. And you just
Hmm.
ask and you're like, hey, I need to work on my weaknesses. I know I really struggle on off speed, whatever it may be. What are some things I can implement into my plan in order to get better at working on those off speed pitches? Now, what's neat is like you're going to get feedback and you're going to have all these things that you can do and work on. Or, maybe you look and you're like, man, I want to get better at journaling. I'm going to try to journal 4 or 5 times a week. But we can just say it and it's probably not going to happen. And it might happen for the first 2 weeks when motivation is high and you're like, yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm excited. But then
Yeah.
motivation is going to fade and we're going to be like, well, where's my motivation? I've lost the thing I was relying on to actually get me to do this. And we've talked a little bit about anchors throughout your day, things that you typically do. When we incorporate new things into our day, we don't want to make them really difficult for us to do. We don't want to fight upstream to try to implement a new habit or else it's going to make it that much harder. So if you have an anchor, something as simple as brushing your teeth, something as simple as like, let's say you make your bed in the morning and you throw your
Hmm.
journal on your pillow. Making your bed
Yeah.
something you already do, putting the journal on your pillow is the action, and it's going to remind you right before you go to bed at night to journal. If when you brush your teeth, you say, you know what, 5 minutes after I brush my teeth, I'm going to journal today. All of a sudden, you've just started to create that habit, and you've just attached it to an anchor that you already do to make your life a little easier. Um, like bigger chunks throughout your day obviously need to have a little more effort carved into it to figure out, hey, this is when I need to do it, this is how I need to do it. But that's what you're trying to do. You're not trying to overload yourself with 15 different things to do all at once when you're probably already pretty busy.
That's why journaling, I would think, is important, right? Because you prevents you from overloading yourself.
I think so. Yeah, sure. It certainly would help with that.
And that's what good coaches do, by the way. They don't allow you to overload
Hmm.
yourself, right? They kind of help you identify that roadmap to get to where you need to get to as an athlete.
For sure. And I think what people think of sometimes is like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll do one of two things. Well, they'll think this is going to take entirely too long for me to get there. I need to be better at this now. Or they'll work at it for like 3 weeks and look back, and it's almost like, when you first start working out, it's like, where's my six pack? I've been doing this for 10 days. So
That's
it's like
right.
you're expecting the results way
Or
sooner.
they take supplements,
Yeah.
and they and they say, where's my why am I not, at this body fat? Well, there's a lot more that
Exactly.
goes into it.